Welcome back, folks. I'm Ronald.
And I'm Ronnie.
And this is the Ron's World, where we talk about the things on everybody's mind, but they don't take the time to talk about it. Today, we're talking about the elevator. Where do you look when you get in this thing? Come on. So, Ronnie, tell us about it.
Listen, when you get in the elevator, what's the point? The point is to get to where you're trying to go. And so when you get in, you push the button and you stare at the numbers.
Well, most elevators you get in, there's other people because they're trying to do the exact same thing. So when you get in, you gotta be courteous, gotta look them in the eye, give them a nod, give them a little wave, offer to push the button for them, do something for your humans in the elevator.
No, that's not what you try to do. The whole point of why they put the numbers up high is they want you to get in, push the button, stare at the numbers to wait for your floor, because they don't want you to slow down the progress. And if you start having conversations with everyone in the elevator, you're never going to get to your floor on time. You know, Ronald, when you get in and there's a lot of people, nobody wants to have a conversation with you.
Well, you might want to have a conversation with somebody who's getting a little nervous in this very, very confined space. If you acknowledge people, it calms the mood, you have that personal connection, everybody feels a heck of a lot better. Everybody just staring at the number? I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking, Ronnie.
I think it's way more nerve-wracking having some random dude have a conversation with you in that confined space when all you're thinking is, I want to get off as fast as possible. And that is really what I think it's time to do. I'm going to get off this elevator. Thank you.
Well, we have audiences in different countries, and in those societies, if you don't acknowledge somebody in that elevator, you're going to be shunned from society.
That's not a true statement.
It is true.
That sounds completely made up. And if you're
Our
at home,
audience is online.
yes,
They are seeing that.
Please fact check Ronald on this and leave your comment about that down below. But that aside, this is not a room. You're not walking into a room where you're going to hang out and watch the football game. You are getting into a mode of transportation. There's no difference between getting in the elevator or going to take a flight of stairs or getting in a cab or anything like that. Your goal is to get from point A to point B. That's
You bring
it.
up a really good point. You could be going in here for a very long time. Anybody been stuck in an elevator? I think if you're stuck in the elevator, you'd rather be stuck with someone you actually acknowledged, maybe even had a little bit of conversation with, because you don't want to be meeting in a very stressful situation, Ronnie.
Listen, nobody's getting in an elevator worried about if it's going to get them to their floor. They'll take the stairs if they're worried about the elevator not making it. And if the elevator happens to break down, there's a mechanism. It's called an alarm. You push that button here, and someone way smarter than you, who probably is an elevator mechanic, will come to your rescue and save you. I don't want to look to you to help fix this.
Y'all have seen that movie before. I know I have. Nobody comes when you push that button. Nobody helps you. You're stuck in the elevator for hours and hours and hours. You better start getting to know that person sooner rather than later. Okay, first of all, you're standing in front of the button. What do I do? Just push you out of the way? Do I look at you and say, hey, could you push the button for me? Or pardon me, can I press my floor button? If you don't acknowledge people, you're not even be able to get to where you want to go.
2 words. Number, please. It's a common thing. If you would have read the Otis Elevator Handbook, you would have learned that. Stare at the numbers, and if someone is in your way, just say, 4 please, and they'll push the button for you.
You don't know who you're going to end up with in the elevator. This could be your future spouse, your future boss, your future friend. You know, maybe that's going to be the person that you're going to meet with when you go up the elevator. You don't know. Wouldn't you rather have acknowledged them and started that relationship off on the right foot rather than getting in that meeting or getting in that relationship, ignoring each other? That doesn't even make sense.
So I'm picturing I walk into this meeting that I'm going to, and one of 2 things is going to happen. Either I did what everybody else does, which is I stared at the numbers, and then they think I'm perfectly normal, or I had this conversation about something with this random stranger, and the person's going to be thinking, oh goodness, this is the guy I'm meeting with? I'd rather be the first one.
Well, I think what they're going to be thinking is, thank goodness I'm meeting with somebody who's friendly.
Well, listen, folks, I don't have all the answers here. My elevator friend Ronald certainly doesn't have all the answers, but please take a moment, leave your comments down below. Let us know, where should you put your eyes when you're on the elevator? And until next week, I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Ronald.
See you next week.